War is in the air. Shalom. Call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, keeping the faith and diligence of our Lord Yahushai until all is fulfilled and we are redeemed. So, World War III is about to pop off. It's a whole lot going on geopolitically between these nations. And, reports are out there that many nations have been gathering their armies together. We know that the kings of the East, North Korea, Iran, India, Pakistan, China, Russia, they've been actively preparing for war against the West for years. But we're at a point now where Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has raised up the spirit in the earth of these kings to be against the horde, to be against the beast system. All right, this is leading to that final, world-ending conflict. Right, not that the whole earth is going to be destroyed, but this current world, this current age, is on the way out. All right, which is ruled over by Esau, Edom. So the Lord is manifesting the end of Esau and also of this age through Armageddon. You see, so all these things that you've seen happening with these nations is not a coincidence. There's a reason why months ago when these nations had a summit and they came together to talk about peace, at the end of the meeting, they basically said that peace is off the table. All right, now that's the spirit that the Lord put on these leaders, man, to continue on, because ultimately the Lord's determination is that these nations be destroyed, their kingdoms be taken down, and the everlasting righteous kingdom of heaven be set up on the earth. But before that happens, these nations got to be taken out the way. All right, so you have now, they had came out with that order earlier this year that all young men and women ages 18 through 26 have been automatically registered for selective service. So, just the other day, you've had on Twitter and TikTok, you've had people posting that they've been receiving letters from the government basically telling them that you've been selected. Okay? And we'll get into the articles to show you, but America, NATO, and the EU, they about to go to war against the kings of the East. All right? So we're going to play this TikTok, get into some articles as well. And Lord willing,
in the mail, but I got this today. Selective service system. I guess, guys, we're going to war. Failure to comply with these requirements is a violation of the Military Selective Service Act. The maximum penalty for a violation of this act is $250,000 fine or 5 years in prison or both. Damn. That's wild. That's wild. Even give me another one too. Just got this in the mail.
Yeah, so you heard it. The penalty is a $250,000 fine or 5 years in prison. Now, behind this, because when they really call for this draft to be instituted, you're gonna have a lot of protests. You're gonna have a lot of people rise up against this initiative. Okay, but then that's when they're gonna bring the destruction. All right, that's when they at least are going to pretty much shut everything down. The famine is going to kick in hardcore. The power is going to go out. As a matter of fact, in my area, last night around 9 o'clock, there was a major internet outage that lasted for like an hour or two. So we know that these devils are playing around with stuff, man, because they're ultimately getting ready to crash this whole shit. But for now, this is what they got going on. Okay, but they're gonna cause you to go to war because they already know that a lot of people are gonna rebel against the order. A lot of people are not gonna want to go, but they're gonna induce you. They're gonna cause you to fight for them by putting you in a position of difficulty, whether it be hunger or you not being able to afford life anymore, or just being chaos in these streets, bad actors, special interest aliens and sleeper cells being activated to the point where people are going to be in fear. So war for many, it's going to be a way out of the chaos that's going to happen in America, in the beast system as a whole. But you have people receiving these letters. Okay, so this should let you know
Who was going
what time
So
that we're in.
Congress apparently passed a
Check this
bill
one out too.
that signs men up ages 18 to 27 automatically to the selective service. And I'm seeing a lot of y'all lose y'all shit collectively talking about I'm not going. Well, you don't really have a choice. One thing I do want to note though, if you're over the age of 18 already, there's an almost 99% chance you're already signed up. If you've ever taken advantage of any kind of student loan funding, federal funding, government assistance, you're already signed up. Don't even sweat it. This don't even apply to you because you're already in there, twin. You already locked in. All this bill does is essentially automates that process so that you don't face repercussions if you somehow manage to avoid signing up. Because I think in some states there are actually penalties for not signing up for the selective service. I don't think Maryland is one of them, but this just helps you avoid all that. So you're not getting drafted today, which is good news for you, but best believe, should World War III break out, Russia keep acting a damn fool, they're gonna dust that draft off like an old family heirloom and start drawing names from that motherfucker. Now, me personally, I'm not worried. One, I'm 32, so I think I'm out the range of getting drafted anyway. And two, I'm overweight with 2 bad knees, a bad back, a fucked up wrist, and a torn rotator cuff in my left shoulder. My injuries have basically guaranteed that I am useless to the United States military unless they need somebody to do their IT support type stuff. Then I'm locked in probably. But this poses an interesting question. Would you rather get drafted or go to jail for 5 to 10 years? Which would you choose? Me personally, neither. Let that draft letter hit my house. Let me open my mailbox to see the United States government reaching out to me personally. Oh, I'm not even gonna open it. I'm gone. I promise you, I'm gonna have my people reverse traffic me out the country, bro. You ain't gonna catch me. I'm gone. So Congress apparently.
Hey man, Jake think it's a game out here. Jake think that this ain't gonna happen. See, but when it does happen, it's gonna catch a lot of people off guard, and really everybody's gonna be in a state of fear. You see, because you just gotta keep this in mind. This Third World War, this gonna be the last war. You know what I'm saying? Before Yahushua comes back, and if you get sent into this war, you ain't coming back. If you get sent into this war, your ass gonna be topsoil. All right, you gonna get offed over there in that Middle East region. You know what I'm saying? So let's now go here, because this is the reason why you're seeing all these letters be sent out and everything like that. Especially when that Iranian leader, I think his name was Ismail Haniyeh or something like that. He just got offed. They took him out with a drone strike the other day. So since then, Iran has been, talking about vengeance. You know what I'm saying? So now the U.S. deploys at least 12 warships to Middle East amid soaring tensions. So when you see that America is sending warships to the Middle East region, you know that shit is about to go down. All right, you know that the tensions are high. Now they've already had warships over there, but they sending more. They sending 12. Right? Says the U.S. has deployed at least 12 warships to the Middle East, including the aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt, amphibious assault teams, and over 4,000 Marines and sailors in response to escalating tensions in the region following the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran and Hezbollah military chief Fuad Shukr. The Washington Post reported on Thursday, citing a Pentagon official. Check this out. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken urged all parties to cease escalating actions, a message interpreted as directed toward Israel following the killings of Shukr and Haniyeh. When asked if the U.S. had given Israel a blank check for operations in the Middle East, Blinken responded, "The current trajectory is more conflict, more violence, more suffering, and more insecurity. It is vital to break this cycle, beginning with a ceasefire in Gaza." And that ain't gonna happen. See, these things are going on and have been going on, because that Israel Gaza war been going on for damn near a year now, come October. You see what I'm saying? So they've been talking about it. They've been trying to find a solution, find a middle ground. But the thing about it is, Benjamin Netanyahu He not going to stop the offensive in Gaza because he has to keep this up. Otherwise, he going to be brought up on war crimes and they going to put his ass in the clink. All right, so he got to keep this war going to save his own ass. All right, so stuff over there is completely out of control, and it's only going to get worse because that's the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So now they sending warships over there, you know, no doubt they're sending troops as well, you know. So this hey man, this is where everything is going to go down in that so-called Middle East, which is really Western Asia. You know, that's where everything is going to go down at. You know, so the Lord is gathering these nations together in that region for the controversy of Zion, and also them small hats, they're going to be destroyed out their land. All right, them small hats is going to be leveled out. All right, then you know, once Yahushua returns, the land is going to be rebuilt. All right, and the heathen is going to rebuild it. So we in some crucial times, man. Life as you know it now ain't gonna be this way for too much longer. You know, like really any day now. You know, reports have came out that they're expecting major cyber attacks. Okay, you know, major disruptions. These cities are troubled. You know, food insecurity. You know what I'm saying? Bad actors. You see, so everywhere you look, it's not a good report. You see. Revelation 16:12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. All right. So when you look at the Euphrates River, you can Google it. That thing is just about completely dried up. All right. So this is biblical prophecy being fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that, you know, Euphrates River dried up, this is to make way for the kings of the east. You see, because this is where they're going to move their tanks. They're going to move their heavy artillery. You see what I'm saying? They're going to move their troops across this region. You see, to ultimately converge upon the land of Israel. This is where that valley of Yehoshaphat is going to be. All right. So this is to make way for the kings of the east, man. All right. Isaiah 13 and 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, mustereth the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. All right, so this is all leading up to the great day of the Lord. But Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right, he's mustering the hosts of the battle. He's mustering the armies together. See, this is why every you know, Eastern nation, including the beast system, what are they doing right now? They're pouring all their money into war, you know, building weapons, building you know, missiles, all right, testing these you know, missiles and drones and things of that nature. They have their mind set on one thing, and that's war. And that's ultimately because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has put it on their spirits to be in the spirit of a war. See, we have left a time of peace, and we're now in an era of war. In these wars that are going on, it speaks about that in 2nd Ezra 16, the beginning of wars, right? The beginning of wars and great tribulation. This is the time that we in. This also coincides with Jeremiah 30:7, the time of Jacob's trouble. You see, and we're in August now. A lot of things are supposed to go down in August as well. All right, but check this out as well, right? Iran allies plan large-scale attack on Israel within 72 hours. You see this? Iran and its allies are preparing to launch a large-scale attack on Israeli forces within the next 72 hours, CNN reported, according to a warning from U.S. Department of Defense officials. The heightened alert follows the recent assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, the head of Hamas's political bureau in Tehran. The assassination significantly raised the stakes in the ongoing aggression between Israel and resistance groups in the region. Political analyst Avi Ashkenazi, writing for the Hebrew newspaper Maariv, suggested that Iran's potential retaliation could be staged from either Lebanon or Iran, or as a coordinated effort between the two. And it really don't matter, see, because we know that these events have happened, that Ismail Haniyeh was put to death to incite these Iranians or the Persians, all right, to come against America and the West, Israel ultimately. You see, because that drone strike, you know, and even before he was put to death, it was Soleimani, you know, their beloved general. Then they put Ismail to death, and the other guy, I forget his name. We just read it in the other article. You know, you see what I'm saying? So Iran is pretty much tired of Israel's, you know, BS. And they're tired of the beast system. So they're in a complete, you know, their eyes is evil towards the West, all right? And they're going to come together with Russia. They're going to come together with China, you know, North Korea, and their Eastern allies. And they're all going to band together, man, to come against Esau. Ultimately, you know what I'm saying? This is what it's talking about in Ezekiel 38 when you read that chapter. See, all these nations gathered together, the Lord mustering the hosts of the battle. Iran plans to attack Israel on the 9th on AV. Okay, so they saying by you know, August 9th, you know, this thing is going to pop off full scale. All right, which August 9th is a few days away. So Western intelligence sources told Sky News Arabia that they had evidence Iran plans to attack Israel on Tisha B'Av in response to the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, which begins on August 12th and ends on August 13th. The site reported on Friday. Iran's attack would reportedly be coordinated with Hezbollah, an Iran-backed terror group embedded in Lebanon. It says on Tish B'Av, Jews lament the destruction of the first and second temples, which you know, them devils over there ain't got nothing to do with no you know, first and second temple, man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to do with that. They're imposters, and the whole world knows it. Everyone in that region knows that. You see, they can only pull this, you know, identity fraud off on the Western world because they control the narrative. You know what I'm saying? They control the information in the West, but that's also failing too. But the nations round about, them small hats in that region, they already know that they don't belong in that land. They already know that they not the people. You see, during the annual event, there is fasting, mourning, and a practice of self-denial. Right? So you know, Iran is getting ready to put it on Israel, man. And of course, we know that America is going to get involved. You know, and when America gets involved, the EU going to have to follow right behind. So, indeed, the least of the flock is drawing everyone out. Okay, which is Israel, man. You know, they're drawing out all these nations to war. You see? Let's go to 2nd Ezra 15. Let's go down. 2nd Ezra 15 and 28. Behold, in horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, right? Just like we read in Revelation, the kings of the east, right? Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians, which is Iran, or the Persians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Okay? And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power, to persecute them, then these shall be trouble-bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. From the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them and their hosts, shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. See, full of wrath and storm. All right, so these nations are in the spirit. All right, Iran, America. All right, which is, you know, the modern day Assyrians. You see, all these nations, Gog and Magog, Togarmah, you know, and all his bands in the north quarters. You see, these nations have aligned themselves, man. You see, they've come together with one common interest, and that's to take down the West. All right. But as it says in Psalms, why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? Because they thinking they gonna come together and that they're gonna be the next superpower, but they sadly mistaken. See, this is their time to be taken down. They don't realize, you know, that this is the end of their kingdom. Right? This is the end of their rule on the earth. The time of the Gentiles is at a fulfillment. Okay? But nonetheless, these things must be. This is to usher in the end of this current age. Daniel chapter 2. Because remember, Daniel spoke about you know, the image and the outline, you know, all the kingdoms that were to rule on the earth. But see, we're in this last kingdom, all right, where Yahweh Shai is about to destroy this place, man. You know, which is the revival of ancient Rome. All right, now check this out. This is verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. Now this iron, this is speaking about Rome, because Rome was known for its iron weapons, right? That's how they were able to go around and, you know, conquer all the nations and pretty much set up their hegemony upon the earth, right? And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. And is not Babylon, is not Rome divided today, just as ancient Rome was. You know, you have Democrat against Republican, you have the rich against the poor, you know what I'm saying? You have liberal versus conservative. You have all sorts of division that is in the beast system, man. And guess what? That's why it says, you know, it shall be partly strong and partly broken, because the iron, which represents the military might of this beast system, they're strong militarily, but philosophically, politically, morally, they're all divided. Okay? The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. This is what we see. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. This is the point here, verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever, which is what? The kingdom of heaven. And who's going to be at the forefront of that? Yahweh Shai, all right, and the Israelites, man. So these nations don't even realize what's going on. All right, they're just in the spirit of war because the Lord has them in the spirit of war. But they don't understand ultimately what's going to come of all this. Okay, they have one thing in their minds. This is why the scriptures say that the deceived and the deceiver are his. Okay, so the Most High, he gives these nations that strong delusion, that strong deception. All right, he has hardened Pharaoh's heart, man. So ultimately they can fulfill prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Everything is going to as it is written. They don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? They've been set up in their lot to fulfill what the Lord wants to be fulfilled. Okay, so Benjamin, Netanyahu, and Joe Biden, Trump, you know, Kamala Harris, and all these other, you know, Putin, and, you know, little Kim Jong-un. You know what I'm saying? All of them are set up in their lot, man. Okay, in these last days to bring forth the will of the Lord. All right. The scriptures also say, "Who hath resisted His will?" You see. So, let me get one more. Let me get one more headline off of here. All right, because it was one with a here we go. Ransomware seizes hospitals, blood supply. So everywhere you look, there's cyber attacks. There's ransomware. All right, give us X amount of money, or else we gonna F your system up. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on. All right, The banks are being hit, the hospitals, the pharmacies. So we're in a time where, you know, these people are gonna have emergencies, and it ain't gonna be no EMTs. You know what I'm saying? Then they had another Microsoft outage just the other day. So this system is going down, man. It's only a matter of time. This is why you have these preppers. You know, they're preparing to get out these major cities. You know, they're preparing to go deep into the sticks, you know, so they can ride out whatever's coming. Although they're going to get their judgment too, you know, but just saying. The point is that they're aware of what's going on, and they know what's about to happen. That destruction is coming to this land, all right? And that it ain't no saving America. It ain't no bouncing back. Then you got the election coming up, all that chaos that's going to come from that. Come on, man. You know, this place is through. All right, so I'm going to end it off right here. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash. Call Allah Ilah, Yahweh Bashim Shai, Hashem Rakah Kadash. Until next time, Shalom to the elect. Kum Yasha Allah.